Wow, what a beast.
Yeah, good, right? Let's just some leftover stuff. Yeah, it smells good, eh?
Yeah, I love that smell. Can I get you just to stand in front of that beast? And
yeah, sure. How about in front of these ones? I love these ones.
Okay.
Or do you like this
Well,
one
I like this one the best for me, but I'll do that with
most
those.
people do.
So what's the difference here? What's happening? Can you
Take you through the
explain?
process, yeah. So those are my mash kettles over there.
Okay.
So I fill those up with water,
Yep.
and when they come up to temperature, I will add the grain.
Okay.
I use, for the vodka, we use organic white wheat.
Okay.
So I put the grain in the water, and it cooks for about an hour and a half. And then I'll wait for the temperature to drop to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's
Okay.
when I add the malted barley.
Right.
And the job of the malted barley is to convert all that starchiness to sugars, fermentable sugars.
Right.
And that's the temperature where the enzyme in the malted barley works. So, yeah, 150 degrees, then I put the malted barley in, and then I let it rest for 90 minutes, another 90 minutes,
Okay.
right? And then there's screens in the bottom of these kettles, so I'll strain it out. And everything I do is manual here. So I'll take it with buckets, and then I'll put it in fermentation tanks.
Okay.
When the temperature gets down to under 100 degrees or 40 degrees Celsius, then I'll
Right.
add the yeast. The yeast will convert the sugars into alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have 5 to 7% alcohol here.
Yep.
It's kind of a really raw beer,
Yeah.
right? So I'll take it, and then I will put it to the stripping stills, which are these 3.
Okay.
So I'll fill these stills up, turn the power on. When it comes up to a boil, the steam will come up here.
Mm-hmm.
And when it hits here, this is a condenser that's controlled by water. Cold water just flows through there. So when it hits the cold water, or the cold area, it will turn to liquid, and then it'll come out as alcohol. So
Okay.
the first distillation,
Yeah.
after it's stripped down from the mash, is called low wines. So when I have an accumulation of low wines, I will put them into the spirit still
Okay.
and do a second distillation.
Right.
And that'll be a spirit called a spirit run. So that's a stripping run. This is a spirit run. So the spirit run, there's 2 condensers here. One is at the top of the column, and then one is a final condenser like we have here.
Right.
So the same idea. I'll bring the low wines up to boil, and when the vapors come up, they'll hit this condenser. I'll have that condenser on high, so they'll immediately come back down, and I'll keep doing that for about an hour, and it'll form a rectification. All the elements will get in kind of line in marching order, and then I'll slowly turn that down, and some of it has compressed. The impurities have compressed to the top.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll come over first, and
Okay.
that's what's called the heads. So we have the heads, and the hearts, and the tails. Those are the 3 parts of the runs.
Okay.
Of the run. So we'll remove the heads, and then collect the hearts, which we use temperature and percentage of alcohol to determine
Okay.
where that area is.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the heart's finished, we'll collect the tails. So we'll combine the heads and the tails, and they're called the feints. We'll use those for the next run with the low wines.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. How long does that whole process take?
About 7 days in total.
Wow. I would love to come here sometime and actually film some of that happening. If you
Sure.
wouldn't mind, that'd be
Yeah,
amazing.
I know, yeah.